Alright, so I am back out in my garage today finally after a long while. And we're going to show you the big brake swap kit, the cheap big brake swap kit that I'm working on for Christine. Now, it's not going to be as cheap as you're going to be able to do it. And the only reason I say that is because you probably don't have a lathe. I do. So I made my own hubs. The hubs, I think, are $350 to have them, to buy them billet hubs, and I think to have them made is, I don't know. I bought a lathe for cheap, and I said I'm doing it myself. Screw paying somebody to do it. So that takes out that equation. But anyway. Here is the massive amount of parts I have so far, which this should be it. These are C5 brake abutment brackets. These are 2000 Camaro front caliper brake lines. These are the adapter brackets. This is a kit. This is from RPM Automotive Brakes. That's where you get your brackets at. I have the C5. These are the, what are they called, slider bolts and caliper bolts. Basically, if you look at the Camaro calipers I have right here, that's what goes in here and there. That's what makes them slide in and out. Which this one, unfortunately, does not want to slide right now. These are wheel bearings for the 91 Caprice rotor that I turned into the hub. You can check in old videos and see those. These are seals for the 2000 Camaro brake calipers. Now, I know somebody's going, well, you got C5 brackets. Why did you get the calipers for a Camaro? I'll tell you why. These are exactly the same as the Corvette calipers. Only difference, right here in the front, it says Corvette. That is it. Nothing else is different. These are dual pistons. Corvettes are dual pistons. They're both aluminum. There's nothing else different. Okay? These are inners and outers for the wheel bearings. Also on the 91 Caprice that I turned into hubs. Now I didn't necessarily need these, but they're cheap. These are C5 caliper, or C5 brake pads for the front calipers. And these are the C5 rotors that I am going to be using. These monsters, drilled and slotted. Alright, now let's take out the equation of this, these, and the brake lines. Alright, because, well, you won't have to replace the bearings. You might not have to. You might not have to rebuild the calipers, which I don't, but I'm going to. You might not need the slider bolts and everything, but why not? And the seals, again, just because I could. Brake lines you may need. I'm not sure. They could come on your calipers and you could still use them. Or you might want to go to stainless, which I did not want stainless because these are $22 shipped, the brake lines. The stainless were like 60 bucks. So I said, no, okay. Those will work for probably a long time. I mean, there's cars still running with them now that have no problems. Now, I was told I needed the C5 abutment brackets, but really, after I started looking at them right next to the Camaro ones, they look exactly the same. Now, if I don't actually need those, that would save me $80 shipped. But if you do need these, Dino's Corvette Salvage, you can find them on Facebook. They have these for $80, which isn't bad, because everywhere else I looked was $90 per and then 125 for both. So 80 for both shipped is way to go. But the key is this big fat chunk of awesome aluminum right here. These really you can only get at RPM Automotive Brakes. Now that comes with your hose guides, is what I call them. It's where your hoses go to keep them out of your tire. The bracket, which there's another bracket in here, comes with 2 brackets, adapters, and all of the hardware, including Loctite. Okay, so for those you're gonna pay around 100 and I think they were 25 or 30, something like that, for 2 of them. I don't really remember. All right, so let's say right now this is the only thing you need. So that's $130. So you can use a stock Corvette rotor, a stock Corvette caliper, or a Camaro. You cannot use the Camaro rotors. The reason being is they're too small. Okay, that's the only reason. For the bracket to line up the caliper onto the rotor, you cannot use them. Okay, so for these, and I only paid $50 actually for the Camaro calipers with the brackets on them, with a set of junk rotors that I used for mock-up. So I mean, that's what, $200 maybe right there so far. But if you have to buy the calipers, right there is another, these were $65 and came with the brake pads. So both rotors and brake pads, $65. So what are we at, $265 now? Okay, so and then if you count in some miscellaneous stuff, let's say $300. So roughly you're gonna have a $300 big brake kit on your 91 through 96 Caprice and 94 through 96 Impala Supersport. But at the same time, all the bearings with the seals, with the seals for the caliper, with the bolts new and brake lines, this right here, this setup was less than $75. And that's assurance right there. So why not? Now, I'm going to take a second here. I'm going to pull this abutment bracket off, and I'm going to check it against this abutment bracket. I don't know if my camera's screwing up or what. It looks weird. But, and see if they're the same. And if they are, and then you can buy a Camaro bracket. Yeah, there it is. See, it's looking all messed up. Yeah, but then you can buy a Camaro abutment bracket instead of the Corvette. But I'm not sure if they fit because of the fitment of these to the rotors. But anyway, C5, 2000 Camaro SS, C5, Camaro to big bolt Chevy. That's what that is. But RPMs can send you out the right stuff. So that is the cheap budget big brake kit right there. $350. Cheap. And if you have to buy your rotor or your hubs, then you're at $6. The cheapest big brake kit is $1,200, I think. But I've seen them all the way up to $1,800, and they're really nothing more special than this right here. So I'm gonna check these out, and in a second I will see if this bracket's the same, and we'll go from there. Alright, just to clarify, in the video, the Camaro brackets will not work. They are shaped similar, but they're actually higher and would be off center a little bit. So yeah, so you have to get the C5 brake caliper brackets. You can use Camaro calipers, C5 rotors. Alright, so hopefully when it warms up again, it's still only like 50 degrees right now. I need to start the process of super cleaning the calipers, pulling them all apart. I actually have custom paint coming. It's actually primer, base, and clear. So that way these things can look sweet forever, and it will be the same color as my car. And it's kind of a big deal. So, thank you for watching this short video of the update on the budget big brake kit. I hope you enjoyed it. I will put the link in the description for these caliper adapter mounts. Probably also for the brackets, the rotors. You'll have to source them. I actually bought them off of Facebook, and all the Brake Best and Master Pro stuff right here. This stuff came from O'Reilly's. This is eBay. Oh no, this is Rock Auto. This is Rock Auto. This is eBay too. Came with the rotors. But that is all for now.